Just achieve freedom, bro.
As you are probably now aware, there is some weird beef between Attack on Titan fans and Code Geass fans, where they slander each other's protagonists and completely belittle them. And even though I love Code Geass, I have to say I see a lot more Code Geass fans shit on every other protagonist a lot more than Attack on Titan fans. Not that Lelouch doesn't deserve the glaze, of course, it's just getting to the point of obsession a little bit. Although I can't complain because the edits are at least tough. But getting to the point, who actually is better? Who actually deserves the title of the greatest of all time? Well, the meaning of GOAT has evolved far from that actually nowadays. It's more common to use it to just call someone your GOAT, which basically means your favorite, and it's become a less objective and more subjective term. Although in this context, in the context of this video, we are going to be arguing about who's the GOAT, mainly objectively out of these two. Even though someone in the comments will probably list 20 other characters from obscure novels that in their opinion are 1,000 times better than Lelouch or Eren. And with that, let's begin. Let's get one thing out of the way first. Attack on Titan is better than Code Geass. It's true. It's like subjectively and objectively true. Well, subjectively, I guess it's only for me true, but objectively it is true. One of the only things that Code Geass did better is the ending, which is one of the greatest conclusions in fiction itself that I have talked about in great detail in my first video that you will watch. So, what exactly are both of the protagonists trying to accomplish? Eren's whole thing is freedom. He starts as a kid trapped inside walls that he despises and wants to leave to achieve freedom. Then that evolves into going to see the ocean, then going beyond it and murdering everyone there in order to free Eldia and his friends using the power of the rumbling. What's interesting to me is how Eren could see the future and yet couldn't see his dumb little plan failing. That was just a joke, please don't kill me, I love Eren. I say plan, but Eren didn't really have the intelligence to create a plan that would truly bring freedom to everyone. So being influenced by the memories of the future, he just committed to the rumbling fully. Eren's motivations and goals change throughout the show and he doesn't have a clear-cut plan from the start. So in short, he wanted to exterminate everyone that had oppressed Eldia and his friends, and that just so happened to be the entire world. But now Lelouch v Britannia. Lelouch's goal isn't exactly freedom,
As they're laughable in the beginning showcased incorrectly.
it's more so the immediate elimination of hate and oppression from the world and restoring the world balance that Britannia had upset. Lelouch has a pretty cut-out goal from the start to create a better world for his sister, which leads him to fulfilling the Zero Requiem, the culmination of Lelouch's plan by focusing the hatred of the world on himself, making himself out to be, Hitler of sorts, and letting himself be killed by the symbol he created and was embodying for a long time, Zero, just with Suzaku under the mask this time. Now the real question is, who actually succeeded? Well, it depends on what you mean by succeed. Did Eren succeed to free the world from oppression? No, as shown in the ending, the cycle of hatred continued, of course, which is supposed to represent that it was never about race or eugenics, it's just humanity themselves. That's the problem. But did Eren succeed in giving his friends and family a peaceful ever after, at least until they passed, where they are seen as heroes and got rid of the Titan curse from the world? Yes, actually, as also seen in the ending. Whether you think the ending is good or not doesn't matter, this is canon and it's what happened. Quickly, in my opinion, I think it's an okay ending in a phenomenal show. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great, it was just good. So basically like a 7 closer to 8 out of 10 ending in a 10 out of 10 show. And I genuinely believe that if the ending was as good as the rest of the show, then it would honestly be the greatest show of all time. But anyway, Eren succeeded in basically his main goal, but in the bigger picture failed. And Lelouch, well, Lelouch succeeded, at least far more than Eren, since it's up to debate whether the peace Lelouch created actually lasted. But it isn't a bad assumption to make because of these reasons. Lelouch before the Zero Requiem was emperor for more than a month, I'm pretty sure. This is more than enough time for a man as smart as him and the power of Geass to settle all affairs in order and get rid of any threat that could destroy the peace after his death, such as the manufacturers of the Flayas. He brought back the balance of the world that Britannia destroyed and left the world in the hands of his sister and the Black Knights to keep everything in order, so he really fought it all out. But the truth is, and it pains me to say it, as much as I love Lelouch, war has probably come back to the world eventually and conflict has arisen. Because as tough as Lelouch's plan sounds on paper, he honestly thought that humanity after defeating him would stay good and learn to live with each other side by side against him. And well, that plan works, but only up until that person is dead. Eventually they will forget him and the cycle of hatred will continue. Let me put this in simpler terms. Imagine if this was actually Hitler's plan in secret. Make himself a symbol of hatred and then let all hate die with him. Did it work? No, of course it didn't. There is still conflict in the world, such as the Palestinian genocide that is being dominated by Israel. But what it did do is unite basically everyone up until he died, and then afterwards it gave birth to unions such as the UN in order to prevent world wars and conflicts like that. And basically the same thing happened in Code Geass, just that Lelouch planned a little further ahead and succeeded way more than Hitler. And so did Lelouch succeed? Not entirely, but his plan definitely wasn't meaningless, and for sure prevented war for probably decades or centuries, because of the fact that he gave up his power to such good people as his sister and the Black Knights. I'll add that by destroying 70% of the Saturadite mines in Season 1, he also guaranteed the eventual extinction of nightmares, a very deadly weapon in the Code Geass universe. Okay, so accomplishments. What have both of the protagonists actually accomplished? Simply put, who has the better feats? Eren killed 80% of humanity and trampled almost the entire world, manipulated events through time with the power of the Founding Titan and the Attack Titan to get the outcome he wanted, lived through decapitation by Gabi, became the single greatest threat in his world. Lelouch orchestrated a plan that unified humanity against himself, showing his political genius, outsmarted huge political figures and geniuses such as Schneitzel, won wars while highly outnumbered, showcasing his strategic intelligence, toppled the Britannian Empire and became emperor, gained the closest thing to world peace that anyone could possibly do. So in raw power, Eren is of course stronger and would obviously slam Lelouch in a fight. But who's got the better girl? Well, shit. I was gonna say Lelouch, but Mikasa, man, I don't know, it can go either way. Getting back to the point though, Lelouch would be destroyed in a fight by Eren. But in intelligence, planning, and the longer game, Lelouch would win and obliterate. Now, to the most important question. Who is tougher? Well, Eren throughout the show only really started aura farming in Season 4, where he actually made up for all the lost aura in the previous seasons, but he also lost it all when he started crying in the conversation with Armin and yapping about him wanting Mikasa and shit. Whereas Lelouch, he is the true aura farmer. This man is constantly throughout the show just raw dogging his enemies and stomping on them. He shamelessly manipulates people because he knows that his goals and ideals are far more important. And I know I make him seem like some kind of perfect boy that doesn't feel anything as an edgy manipulator. But the great thing about Lelouch is that he does feel and he does struggle. He just chooses his ideals first and himself second. And then in the ending, when he died with a smile on his face and it was revealed he meant to be killed, I don't even know, like he quadrupled his aura. And with that, I think we can finally decide who the GOAT is. Who is the true GOAT? Subjectively, well, it can go either way. Both are great characters and they are very well written and just peak fiction. Who you like more, who you think is tougher, who you think deserves this title, I won't blame you for choosing either one of them. But in the objective sense, in the sense of who has the better feats, who is tougher, who is hotter, well, actually that one is also subjective. Well, it's Lelouch. It's Lelouch. Like, I'm sorry, but I would really want to say this is a tie, but it's really not. Lelouch is the better character. But as I said earlier, I am not delusional and I can see that Attack on Titan is a better show, hands down, not even close. Attack on Titan is absolutely phenomenal and I love it. It's one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Not to say Code Geass isn't also amazing, but Attack on Titan is just leads above anything else ever. Shakespeare would die trying to write this. But I can also see that Lelouch is the clear winner here. He is amazingly written, has the best conclusion in fiction, hates what he has to do, but understands that he has to do it, and aura farms the entire show. And in debates nowadays, it's all about that. I mean, he's perfect. So yes, my final verdict is that Lelouch is the GOAT.